stress out, nigga. Poke my chest out, nigga. Wait on my show to bring the best out, nigga. Get it right or you get left out, nigga. Look, I never fold under mental pressure.
So why am I out here in the middle of the wilderness recording a video? Because I don't like the wilderness. I'm changing my personality. Now I know you're wondering, what am I talking about? I asked a question earlier on social media about self-sabotage. Do you sabotage yourself? Self-sabotage is when you intentionally or unintentionally throw roadblocks in your own way. And right when you're at the door of success, or you're at the door of your relationship, or you're at the door of getting where you want to be in your career, a roadblock pops up and it kind of messes everything up. And then when you look back on it, years later, months later, weeks later, or even a day later, you realize that it was you that caused it. Everything that comes into your life, you have to look at it and say, why did I do that to myself? Now I'm going to talk fast and try to make this a 2 to 3 minute video on self-sabotage and then how to get over it. So, does self-sabotage stop you from getting where you want to be? So a while back, I realized that there was a dark cloud over my head. And I asked a wise person one time, what do you think this dark cloud is? And they said, it's your emotions. You're doing it to yourself. And I had to wonder, like, why would it be my emotions? Because most people that know me or knew me at that time would describe me as sort of like unemotional. So I had to look back and understand why I was sort of unemotional. My being unemotional was a self-defense mechanism that I developed over time. At one time, or 2 times, or 3 times, I may have lost control of my emotions. And a person that loses control of their emotions and it goes all the way to the left or to the right or all of the above, it kind of scares you. And then rather than learning how to control your emotions, you just kind of shut your emotions off. And so that's what I did. And it developed to be a part of my personality. Personality comes from the word persona, which only means mask. So it's the mask that you use to cover whatever it is that you're trying to cover to keep you safe from the outside world. So my emotions, or my lack of emotions, or my lack of knowing how to control my emotions ended up putting a dark cloud over me. And it caused me to self-sabotage myself, so that whatever I was trying to do, if it was important, whether it was what you would call unimportant, whatever it was, once I would get to the door of where I wanted to be, it would be a roadblock. I would stumble, and it would I would usually make the goal, but I would have to go over all of these roadblocks before I got there. So here's the question. How do we get over it? Well, you have to change your personality. You say, well, how can I change my personality? I like who I am. But you have to ask yourself the question, how did you develop to be the person that you are? Remember, personality only means mask. Now, pause the video, get a pen and write this down. Your personality determines your personal reality. Ooh, that was a bar. Hold on. I'm going to say it like a rapper. Your personality determines your personal reality. Do you see the relationship between those 2 or 3 or 4 words? Personality, personal reality. You can actually change your personality. And the reason that you have to change your personality is you cannot change a circumstance with the same mind or the same personality that created it. So you have to change your personality or tweak it a little bit to be able to change what it is that you have developed. Now, let me show you how it's possible. Have you ever heard of multiple personality disorder? We're going to take something that's looked at as negative, but then turn it positive. Multiple personality disorder is when people exude different personalities at different times, or it can be a split-second change, but they're actually turning into an entire different person. Well, scientists studied this, what you call disease or disorder, and they find that, say, if a person's name is Kate, and they have another personality that's Jocelyn, Kate may smoke cigarettes and be addicted and just can't stop smoking cigarettes. But when she turns into Jocelyn, she can't stand cigarette smoke, can't stand to be around it. Then they even did a deeper study, and they found that when they change personalities, the disease that one person had will not be present in the other personality. So if one personality has diabetes, when they make a split-second change from Joe to John, and Joe had type whatever diabetes, and then when they test John, John doesn't have diabetes. Diabetes and other diseases, physical ailments, are really just genes that are mutated and ran wild. And genes get a signal from your emotions. Your emotions come from how you think. Whatever you think produces your feeling, and feelings don't lie. So what we have to do is go back into ourselves, go back into our history, and realize what it is that made us develop this personality that causes us to have this self-defense mechanism. Most of the time, when you are self-sabotaging yourself, it's not you, it's not the real you that's doing it. It's the person that's in your head. It's either the parent, it's either the sibling, it's the teacher, it's the friend, because these are the people that help to develop your personality or help to develop your self-defense mechanisms. Because sometimes fear disguises itself as love. So your mother, out of fear, the fear disguises itself as love, and she'll tell you don't do this or don't do that because she is afraid that you may get hurt, not knowing that she's actually stunning your growth. So as you are growing and developing into a grown man or a grown woman, you are trying to go into this different direction or trying to go into this different career or trying to go into this different relationship. And that voice still comes up in your mind. It's your mother's voice, but it comes up in your mind as you, or it comes up in your mind as a roadblock. And then you end up throwing a roadblock in your own way. Or it could be a brother or a sister, a sibling. Or it could be a classmate. You know, children can be cruel. You know how we talk about each other. And, you know, it could be a person that said, "You're so ugly." You ever seen the video of the little girl that was telling the hairdresser, "I'm so ugly"? And the hairdresser told her, "No, don't say that. You're beautiful." And all of a sudden, the little girl just broke down in tears because she was going through what I call a schizophrenic moment. Schizophrenia is when you hear one thing, but you see another thing. So the little girl, she saw something in the mirror. She saw an illusion in the mirror. She was a beautiful little girl, but somebody had told her that she was ugly. So when she looked in the mirror, she saw what she saw, but she heard ugly, which mutated what she saw. So when the hairdresser told her, "Don't say that, you're beautiful," then it caused a little shift in her mind and she was confused, and so she just broke down. And that's what's happening to us in our everyday lives. We're having these breakdowns and we don't know to turn left or to turn right. But what you have to do is sit down and go back into your history and realize what happened to you. And right now during the shutdown, and right now they're calling it a little lockdown, but it's going to be a shutdown coming up. But this is the perfect time for you to reset. If the powers that be is doing the economic reset and they're resetting the financial systems, the educational system and all of that, if we go through this and come out as the same person, that's on us. It's time for us to reset and come out as a different person. So we'll be doing some videos on how to alter your personality so that you can alter the results and get what it is that you want to get. Peace and blessings. So I had to come back and do a PS and add a little extra onto the video because I started out asking a question. Why am I in the middle of the wilderness talking about changing my personality? It's because I would not consider myself previously as a nature person. I came up in the city, and when you come up in the city, the only time you go outside is when you're trying to play football, basketball, go wrestling, or play with your friends. But you're not coming out into the wilderness, and especially if you got like hay fever, which I had, allergies and all of that. This was the worst time of year for me, and I definitely was not coming out barefoot, putting my feet in some water that at that time I thought was dirty, but now I know this is the cleanest water that you can get. So, with that said, I am changing my personality, and you have to do some things that you would not do previously so that you can get results that you, the results that you want to get. So I'll say again, change your personality, get different results. So we'll be doing more videos on changing personalities. We'll be giving updates on some of the results. In this video, you'll see my Cash App posted somewhere on the screen. I don't know if it'll be the bottom, the top, or the middle, but wherever it is, if you want to give toward these videos, if you like what you see and you'd like to see more, then practice a law of the universe called the law of reciprocity. That's just when somebody is exchanging, giving you energy, you give them something in return. It's an exchange of energy, and you all are feeding each other. That way we help each other grow, and we help the universe, and it all turns out equal. So with that said, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Peace and blessings.